Hey everyone, this is Grixon, and this is a 25 HOA we timed today. Not today, a couple days ago now, but this is a Fortified, Sanguine, and Grievous week, so it's a really big key. I'm running Purgatory because it's a 25 HOA, it's hard, and I'm playing Kyrian because I really value Dancing Rune Weapon uptime, especially in these bigger pulls. So I always grab a threat on that first. I drop a Death and Decay, and then Dancing Rune Weapon. And then I kind of stand here and let everything come to me. Now, when you're doing this kind of pull, these Dark Blades, you gotta really be careful these Deadly Thrusts. They're gonna eat through any shields you have, and we put a marker on me, and I said beforehand, hey, this is where I'm going to stand. And then just, if a Deadly Thrust about to happen, I just sidestep it, go back in. So everybody kind of knows where to not stand so they don't get dilly thrusted. It was my first dungeon of the week, or not my first dungeon of the week, but my first dungeon of the day, so a lot more Sanguine healing went off than should have. And it was just me trying to get in the flow of it again. So I did end up moving, and yeah, Sanguine can make this dungeon a little challenging just because of space. We decided not to pull these workers just for this pull. We actually went into MDT before the dungeon started, and we kind of like streamed it on Discord and like, hey, what do you guys think about this pull? What do you guys think about this pull? Does this line up with their cooldowns? Like pull by pull, we went through it and we created a route just for that day with Sanguine in mind. And then just the trouble you get with obliterators. So, I mean, everything we did here was completely by design. You know, I'm standing in too many deadly thrusts for sure. And it is a very scary dungeon on Fortified, as it is for the tank. So big thing you want to be thinking about is just having Dancing Rune Weapon up as much as you can, spreading Shackle near the end of your runes so you can get a bunch of runes for free back. But then just knowing, hey, this pull's going to die soon, maybe I should tough it out and not cast Dancing Rune Weapon again. There's going to be a point where you really need it for your next pull. So kind of understanding exactly what you're pulling and when really helps out just your overall success, because Blood Decays, live by Dancing Rune Weapon now. So this pull is going to be insanely rough because I do not have Dancing Rune Weapon up yet. So I'm trying to get Tombstone. If I Tombstone right now, I'll finally have it. And I think I butt pulled those. We were not ready for that. So bad play on my part actually makes Purgatory go off. So not ideal. We got to be careful here because I'm actually putting us... I'm doing bad right here. Like, my positioning was horrible. I popped my cheat death. I didn't have Dancing Rune Weapon up yet. Then, as well, I positioned the Dark Blades into my team. So, if you want to talk about some optimizations, that's one. And then just, like, if you have to get out of a situation, one thing I learned from this video is if I have to leave a situation, I need to announce that I need to leave the situation and say, careful of frontals. People were getting rocked by frontals when I would end up kite. When I would kite, they would get hit by deadly thrust or something like that, because they're used to me just being there. It's kind of like a team thing to just know, like, hey, once he's out, you have to really watch where you're standing. I try my best as a tank to not do those things, but on a higher key, it really does play with your mind. So I actually grip him because I don't want Dancing Rune Weapon to end. But it's about to end, and I don't have anything. So this is another situation of a bigger pull with going into a bigger pull with no Dancing Rune weapon. And it's something that just needs to really, you know, you need to be very mindful of it. And you need to be thinking not this pack, but the next pack. Okay, will I have it for this pack? Can I extend this long enough to have it so it's ready for the next pack after? So I've got Dancing Rune weapon going now. Let's see, yeah, I start spreading shackles. I probably could have hit some art strikes before the shackles, but honestly, Sanguine week is kind of hard on Kyrian, just because you're trying to spread shackles while you're also trying to kite. It just gets very cumbersome. It's something to consider being Necrolord for, just because you could probably do your Slappy Hands, your Abomination Limb, near the end of a pull and just keep gripping things out of Sanguine. It could be very strong for that. You'd lose that on-pull threat, which Necrolords enjoy, if you saved it towards the end of the fight. But that's something to consider too. So as things are starting to die, like once they're at like 15% HP, I start backpedaling, and instead of just backpedal, you can actually run kind of like sideways at an angle, so that way you can still parry. And yeah, you don't want to have your back towards mobs as much as possible. So this pull, I think goes just fine. Again, I'm in another situation where I don't have Dancing Rune weapon on pull, so a big part of my problems in this dungeon are that, just not having what I need. And so these dark, look at these dark blades. Like, I just have it out of control right now. I don't have this in a good area. So definitely a lot of room for improvement on my part. See, now these guys are all walking through Sanguine as well. Deadly Thrust. Deadly Thrust. The range on Deadly Thrust isn't crazy far, so you can backpedal out of it. But definitely a lot of your success on a Fortified HOA is going to be avoiding Deadly Thrusts. So this is another one where this went kind of wrong. The point of this pull was to get these 4, get them low, or at least get an Obliterator dead. Then after that happens, pull these Groundskeepers in. So I pulled them way too early. You know, I had Dancing Rune weapon. I felt like I was just big boy, but me trying to get those guys just put some Deadly Thrusts on my team, and 2 of my team members died from 1 Deadly Thrust because of my positioning trying to get that. So I didn't have everything established. I didn't have everything grouped up. My Dancing Rune weapon's already fallen off, and now I'm in super big trouble. I just jumped the gun. I did it too early. You either need to do it all at the same time or stick to the plan that you guys had talked about. Like, I'm still gonna look, pop Purgatory right there. So now I have to kind of try and pick up these pieces. So definitely not my strongest tanking I've done. Now it's just Sanguine management. Trying to make sure these things die. See, this was a bad idea. Why did I turn around? Like, why did I turn around? Because now these guys are just healing like crazy. I turned around because I wanted to get us towards the next place we need to get to, but it wasn't the best idea. So I stunned that one in hopes that this one will come closer, and I'm ready to grip it. If I need to grip it, I can. See, I was like, okay, I'll grip it, but didn't end up needing it. So our thought here is to just take as little Hound Masters as possible. So we ended up hexing that one and then going right to Shard. And so the plan is here, after the shard is dead, we would pull in the groundskeepers as well as the encrypted affix off to the right there. So I should be using AMS right here. I looked at the log afterwards, and like 47% of my overall damage taken was melee, and then like another 30% or more of it was wicked bolts. So from the whole dungeon, like so much of it was wicked bolts. So AMS and AMZ really should be used a lot in this dungeon. So if you're having trouble in Halls of Atonement, especially as you get into a higher fortified key, I'm telling you, you're getting clapped because of wicked bolts. That's probably what's happening. You're probably standing in deadly thrusts, and you're probably getting hit by too many wicked bolts. So here I'm kind of kiting because I see things are starting to die. Because we have it's going to give us great Dancing Rune Weapon uptime. So once this stuff dies and he dies, I'm going to get a lot of my cooldown back. So right now it's at 30 seconds. It was at like 39. He dies. And yeah, it brings it down quite a bit. It actually gave it to me completely. Just get that. So we're doing this pack now. We have a miscommunication about gargoyles as well. So the plan was to leave the middle gargoyle. We're going to do double gargoyles. We're going to get the one up top left, and then the one to the right as well. Up and to the right. So that was our plan to do. But we end up getting all three of them at the same time. We can tame two of them and then just one straggling, which kind of sucks, but is what it is. It gives us 10% damage reduction when you have a gargoyle. If you bring a gargoyle to a fight and you can't tame it, does the boss get 10% damage reduction? Let me know in the comments if you know. I'm actually curious. I'd never even thought about it. That'd be a good one to know. So yeah, overall, I make a lot of mistakes in this dungeon, and a lot to learn, a lot to improve upon in this dungeon. For me specifically, this dungeon is so it's so influenced by how well you tank. And so the next pull we have to do either before or after the boss that we planned was those. Like if you see where my crosshair was or my mouse, that's what we're going to be doing to get the rest of our count after. So I actually pulled that one on accident. Like I'm the one who pulled that. That was my fault. So again, so he pulled one too. So totally on me again. I don't know, I guess the number of 25 was just getting to my head a little. So I stand in this for a while because on a fortified week, that actually doesn't do much damage, the crumbling slam. So I'm kind of just kiting a bit here because of the dismantler. And I'm doing it this way because the Stoneborn is looking at me, and I don't want him to do his frontal breath on people. So I know I have one more slam, and then I have beams. So I'm trying to move everything out for beams. But I just didn't move far enough. I should have moved over to the side, kind of diagonal. And I actually put a lot of damage into this Stoneborn, which I shouldn't have. So I know my whole team is on that side, so I'm trying to stack these slams over here. Alright, so in this fight as a tank, just always watch where your team is. You need to know when beams are about to happen, and then just watch out for your team. So there's plenty of room here for beams now. Alright. So we need this pull, but the problem is we needed that Houndmaster hexed earlier or off to the side. So then we thought, oh, maybe we can just go around and attack it from the right. But that won't work because it patrols right into the Obliterator and Darkblade we want. So now we kind of have to just bite the bullet and wait for him to move out of the way enough to hex him and start the pull. So I should run in there and fight these right at that point where that lantern is, like here, but I actually back it up a lot. I really didn't need to back it up a lot. I was playing as if we didn't just hex that guy, and we did hex him. So if you look, I'm tanking over here, and one of our teammates walked exactly right where I am and just got deadly thrusted. Like, the timing was perfect for him to get deadly thrusted there. So unfortunately, when you do this and you get woe, there's 3 different casters you have to think about. You have to worry about Curses of Obliterations, you have to worry about Dark Bolts or whatever, Wicked Bolts, and you have to worry about the Woe's Burst. So that pull went bad. Sanguine wise, it was completely fine, but the pull itself went bad because of positioning. That was the first time we've ever done that kind of a pull, so I think it just got a little awkward. Okay. So you just got to make sure you don't have any Grievous stacks on you. And then this is a good pull for pugs too, just because not everybody keeps potions on them for invisibility. So I'm just going right into the boss because we are looking tight on time. We're about a minute late. So here I do Gore Fiends, but unfortunately I did it too early, and not everything got pulled into that. I do AMZ here for when these little stone fiends die, they explode and do AoE damage. And it's magical, so you can AMZ that to help out your team. Something you can do. Damage is going good though for everyone. Alright, another stone call, and now I don't have AMC or anything like that, so just try and if you're playing this and you're not a tank, try and help out and like kick a few of these, like kick some of these bolts so they can run into melee. This is a good opportunity to spread shackle as well. And unfortunately, I didn't get Shattering Leap the whole time, which I kind of wish I did. So, at this point, you should be thinking about Dancing Rune Weapon. How long can you keep this alive? And more importantly, will you have it up for the next fight? Because the next pull is a big doozy. So mine just ran out. And here I stand in a bunch of stuff, and I don't get a Death Strike out on the correct target, so I pop Purgatory. Again, a mechanical issue I mess up on, and then pop my Purgatory. Also, I just did Dancing Rune Weapon, which is a bad idea when he has like 10% HP left. I think the Purgatory scared me, so I did Dancing Rune Weapon. But it's very bad because now I won't have it for the next pull. And the next pull is scary, not having it. So there's a full minute left until I have it. That's very bad. So not having Dancing Rune Weapon up for Blood Boils means a lot of lost threats. And it also means a lot of incoming damage. So I'm very weak. See, look, I'm almost dead, like a bunch. Very weak. And I don't have Purgatory. So I finally get Dancing Rune Weapon, and then we're safe. But you just gotta be careful, because I do have 6 stacks of bleed right now. It fell off, but yeah. The difference Dancing Rune Weapon makes is really huge. So you will be far more successful if you can think ahead into your next pull. Will I have it up for the next pull? If not, I need to Tombstone immediately. Or if the pull is almost dead, I need to just hang tough. Maybe kite a little. So there are definitely ways you can set yourself up for success for the next huge pull you do. So because we're low on time, you know, while they're still finishing that up, I just go and grab the next pull. Another good life grip. Here's another. Grixin is super awkward at pulls, especially when he's already flustered. You know, I've had people comment saying like how I'm so good at the game, or like, would I ever consider MDI? This is me in a 25. Like, this is not top tier play. I make so many mistakes, but the important thing is that you look at them, and in your own gameplay, you look at them, you see that you're doing it, and then you just try and do better the next time. You make some more mistakes that are different, or maybe the same ones. Okay, how can I do this better? That's the only reason why I am at the position I am with tanking, is from that. My skill level rapidly developed when I started recording my keys and then just talking about them out loud with you guys. You know, I just started tanking this expansion. I've never tanked before until this expansion. So and Mythic Plus is brand new to me as well. Before this, I was playing Wrath of the Lich King. So this is my first Mythic Plus for, you know, adventure, and this is my first tanking time either. For a long time I played healer and or, you know, DPS. But I ended up tanking because I mained Death Knight this expansion, and no one was taking a Death Knight DPS in 9.1 or 9.0.5. No one was taking it like an unholy DPS that didn't have a lot of score, because I could only play like a dungeon a day. So I was like, oh, let's just learn tank. I'll get into keys all the time. So with this fight, try your best to aim him near a lantern. And the reason why is just so whoever gets fixated doesn't, like, if it's a melee DPS that gets fixated, they don't have to run away from the boss. They can still fight the boss and it'll just come to them. It's purely just for uptime reasons. You know, this way they can still play, like they can still hit their target and not have to worry about running away to a different urn to get there. Oh, I dropped my bone shield stacks. Not good look. So here's another situation of me not having Dancing Rune Weapon for the next pull. So I should be doing Tombstone like now. I should be tombstoning. Okay, I did. That should be good. 19 seconds. Should be good. Yep, that'll be fine. Alright, so for this part, I kind of just sit back over here to this section and I deal with the mobs that are here as well as the, you know, the relics. And my goal there is just to hard strike as much as possible and then shackle as much as possible to get as much Dancing Rune Weapon time. I think the highest number I've ever gotten to was like 19 seconds left on Dancing Rune Weapon. So now I'm worried about these envies fixate on people. It's really hard to like keep track of because they just like go where they want. You can hold their aggro for a bit, but they really like to go wherever, and then they like to pick one to just drop a puddle on the ground. So keeping these things up can be nice for funnel damage, but they can really screw you. It's very dangerous for you and the whole team if they're up too long. You know, another optimization I could have done. One, I could have killed that last soul sitting there. And then two, I could have just tried to move my body to a different one. So I gotta kind of get on the other side of this stuff and move all of it so the team can get more real estate. See, this is just such a bad spot, and I'm stuck on the worship bench or whatever it is. I don't know why my recording sometimes does that. That glitch that you're seeing is not you. That is my recording. I don't know why it does that. So I'm going to start kind of moving all this stuff out of those puddles. Because if you look, we've got like 4 minutes and 20 left. Like, we need to get this done. About to run out. Yeah, there we go. Alright, again, I should be using Tombstone. Okay, good. I did that time. Alright. So I don't think I'll go into this pull with Dancing Rune Weapon, which kind of sucks for that on-pull threat. But, you know, time is of the essence, so I'm going to probably double Blood Boil here. Yeah, and even then I still lose threat on that relic. So if you didn't know this, when a statue is chosen, look which way it's facing, because that's the way it's going to go. So if you see, it's going to go towards the healer. Yep. So whenever you see a statue get chosen like that, look where it's facing, and that's where it's going to go. So it kind of gives you a better hint of like if it's going to hit you or not. Also, Stigma of Pride, if you didn't know this, Stigma of Pride is a physical dot that does a lot of damage near the end of the dot. But as a Blood Decay, we can negate the application of it with AMS. So we can pretty much stop every other one. So we have to eat the dot half of the time. And just near the end of its time, you gotta pop a cooldown for it. Alright, so we're AMZing this one. Looks fine. It is still a lot of damage on a 25. Even if it's like not tyrannical, it's still a lot of damage. So this Stigma, we do AMS. Boom. We did not get it applied to us. That one's going through melee. So if you're Blood Decay, AMS, save your AMS for every Stigma of Pride you can hit. It's going to be every other one. Boom. Caught the healer, man. Clotheslined him. Did you see him? Anyways, I rezzed him pretty much immediately. That statue hit me. Alright, so you kind of want to sign yourself up a little diagonal here. I thought I was close enough to be able to get these two on the side, but it wasn't happening, so it got messed up. But unfortunately, those ticks that we got were really bad. Like, it pretty much wiped people. So if you saw right there, I looked where it was coming from. It was very bad for me to dump all my runic power on rezzing people when I have Stigma of Pride. It's just, see how much it's chunking for? So I can stop this one with an AMS. It's going through. Honestly, those you don't even need to get out of on a fortified key. But if you look, we've got 20 seconds left to kill this guy, so we're really like worried here. I don't say we're worried, we're very determined. Can't stop that one. Yeah, once it's applied, it's a physical dot, but the application of it you can stop with AMS. It's kind of weird. But yeah, that was a great one. 3 seconds left. 3 seconds. We timed it. With all those mistakes, it could have gone much better. But anyways, here's the breakdown of Heart Strike, Shackle, and then the healing breakdown. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the commentary of the kind of pull by pull. Mostly it was just me breaking myself down, but yeah, if you want other DKs or others to see this video, please consider liking the video. And yeah, if you want to say anything, you know, go ahead and put down a comment or whatever you want to do. I do have a community Discord. The link will be down in the description. All I ask is that when you go there, just say hi in the introductions tab and I'll add you as a member. Once you're a member, you'll see all the channels of like my week auras, everything like that. Any questions you might have can be answered by me or others there. Yeah, thank you very much. I'll see you guys in the next one.